Hey guys, it's your favorite deadbeat VTuber. I'm back with my cigarettes. We're going to talk about the Chainsaw Man chapter, but before we get started, I just want to say there are going to be some spoilers for not only Chainsaw Man, but their mother manga as well, so I'm giving you a heads up right now. But without further ado, let's get into it, and thank you for clicking on this video.
Lemons?
So, I read the latest chapter, and let's look over it real quick before I give my personal opinions. So we open up back on the shack from the first chapter in part 1, and like we're going through like some of the same plot points or whatever. He's like dreaming about girls and games and all this other stuff or whatever, and then the zombie devil kills him or whatever, but this time Power comes in to save him instead of him making a contract with Pochita. And then in Makima's place is Nayuta, who we haven't seen since God knows how long. Yeah, and like Power's like naked throughout this whole fucking first part until Nayuta recruits him, and then it's just those two going on missions, killing devils and shit. And like what else we got here? I'm looking at the chapter as I'm recording this, but like Denji's got his eye patch because he hasn't made a contract with Pochita, so he's still like all human. And like Power's making weapons for him. They kill this like crab devil, and then we see Asa with the headless chicken, and he's about to kill the chicken, but Asa trips, and Denji catches her, and then like instead of her killing the chicken like she did in the first chapter, this time the chicken lives, and she just name drops Chainsaw Man, and we get to know that Pochita is still somewhere in Denji's heart. And then they just go off and go hunt more devils, and they're just normal now, I guess. So my personal thoughts are that Pochita reset the world, and without him in it. So Denji will always be a dreamer, because in the last chapter Pochita was saying that you're not like dreaming anymore and you're like never happy. So I think that's what's going on. So by making him go back into the shack, without him, he can now be a yearner again and like dream and like be happy with all this other shit going on. And it looks like he is Denji's heart, so I wonder if he can still somewhat turn into Chainsaw Man in the future. My thoughts on the chapter are kind of split. As a chapter, I like what it is, like a retelling, a redo, where he's with Power from like day one. He still has his eye patch. He doesn't have the devil powers. Nayuta is in Makima's stead. And like Asa is like happy and is going to school. So I like those aspects, but my biggest concern is, my biggest question is, what are we doing? Like what are we doing? How did we get here? Like, would it have killed Fujimoto to just drop one page that like writing wise would be bad, but like for us would be good, that just says Pochita reset the world or whatever, and just give us an explanation or whatever, instead of making us come up with our own interpretation of it. I was looking around the Discord server with some buddies, and some of them liked it, some of them disliked it. One of them said it was like a cop-out with the whole it's up for the reader to decide, which I get that. I don't know, it just really feels super duper unfinished. I feel the same way I did when Jujutsu Kaisen ended, and I'm just like, what do you mean you're done? What do you mean you're done? We're not done. We have so much unresolved stuff that ending it now just feels like you got tired or something like that, which I get that. Mangakas go through hell, and I respect the shit out of them. But with Jujutsu Kaisen, there were just so many like unresolved narrative threads or whatever that were going on that I was just like, what? Or like things that just got cut super short that I remember not feeling happy about. I remember like the military or whatever. Like, please forgive me, bro. I might just be a Jujutsu Kaisen fan that just didn't read thorough enough, but what the fuck happened to the military in Curse Spirits? what happened to that, there, that one girl with the scorpion hair or whatever that just kind of showed up in the anime. I don't know what the hell happened to her. I really wanted an arc in Jujutsu Kaisen where we just see Gojo's like family or whatever, like maybe his mom, his dad, cousin, or something. We just see what the rest of his clan looks like that aren't Gojo. I was really curious about that, and we never got that. I remember halfway through that fight, Gege just dropped that, hey, we're ending in like 6 chapters. I was like, wait, what? And that's how I feel about Chainsaw Man right now. I'm just like, wait, what? What do you mean you're done? Like, there were so many things that just weren't finished. Number one, the devil that swallowed up Denji and Puchita. What happened to Asa and Yoru? That was going somewhere. What else? Like, where the fuck did Quan Chi go? Where did, like, Katana Man and, Kobeni's little brother or whatever. Where the fuck was Kobeni and Kishibe at? I was asking some guys, I'm like, dude, was I the only one that wanted those two to show back up somewhere? Everybody was like hoping and praying Power showed back up, and she shows up in the last chapter. And like, of course I'm happy to see Power back. I fucking love Power, but I'm like, it feels a little shoehorned. As well as with Nayuta. I just like needed an explanation as to what's happening in this chapter. I know it's like a reset, but it's like, I want you to say what it is to us. Is this a reset? Is this like a do-over? Is this like a loop? What are we doing? I really just wanted that in particular. And yeah, no, the same thing with Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like it ended way too early, just super duper early. What the hell are we doing? I think Tatsuki Fujimoto is a genius when it comes to writing manga and stories and characters. If you've read any of his one-shots, if you read part 1 of Chainsaw Man, then you would know that he's just a fucking genius, and part 1 ended like a symphony. It was amazing. I still remember it. And I'm just sitting here at the end of part 2, and I just don't feel that. A lot of people are saying that he got bored or something like that, and I definitely think that is the case with this last chapter. Because if you go look back at the end of part 1, it ended so perfectly. If anybody remembers that chapter, it ended so fucking perfectly. I'm gonna spoil, but like when he kills Makima and then he eats her, that's fucking genius. And like, I'm seeing a lot of part 3 discussion, and I definitely think there should be a part 3 now because of this chapter. I didn't feel that last chapter because I was like, oh, maybe he can wrap it up, and then he kind of let me down a bit and didn't. So yeah, now I think there should be a part 3 or something, because there's just so many things that are just unresolved, and like this feels like a very rare Tatsuki Fujimoto L. And I don't know, maybe I just gotta watch like a video essay from some YouTuber I like, and he's gonna tell us how stupid we are and how it's a genius ending, and I'll switch my opinion around. But for now, I'm just like indifferent, leaning towards, what are we doing? It feels really like a flat not ending. Like, no, we're not finished. I definitely feel that part 2 was undirected. There was no direction going on, that's what I mean. And yeah, I can definitely agree with those complaints I remember hearing now. Complaints about, I don't know what's happening. And like, it felt like we were really going somewhere during the Denji versus Yoru fight. We were really leading up to something, and then just we lost it after that. Like, I felt like the fight got done and he didn't know what to do, when I think what he should have done, if he really didn't know what to do, was go on a hiatus. Go on a hiatus, think about it, like really think about it, and then come back, who knows how long, and then just end it. I don't need it to be done anytime soon. We all fucking hate hiatuses, right? But would you rather have a hiatus for God knows how long, or a shitty ending. I think a lot of people would pick the hiatus. It's just a really unguided, I don't even want to say it, but like somewhat sloppy finish.
Pause.
And this is coming from Tatsuki Fujimoto, my fucking goat. And I'm just like, I'm so confused on like, what are we doing? And like, I trusted the method the entire run of part 2. Because like, I remember my coworker saying she doesn't know what's going on. I'm just like, trust the process. Trust the process. He's gonna land. He's gonna land it like he did part 1. And then he didn't. And now I'm just sitting here looking like a dumbass, and I'm kind of confused. I'm a little let down. Like I said, I like the chapter. Like, I don't hate it. I'm not like pissed off that I read this. I'm just like, what do you mean you're done? Like, I really like. It's like watching your son perform at his piano recital, and just halfway through, he's like, "Oh, I give up. I'm done." Like, son, what do you mean you're done? You're not finished. We're not finished. And that's what it feels like. That's what part 2 feels like. We're not finished. And I'm seeing a lot of people talk about, oh, part 3. Like, there's no confirmation for part 3. There wasn't a confirmation, correct me if I'm wrong, but there wasn't a confirmation for part 2 either until, like, shortly before that came out. Because I remember, like, binged all part 1 back in, like, 2021 when I first started my Walmart job. And then I remember like 2 years later when the anime was dropping, like shortly after something or whatever, just part 2, chapter 1 dropped or whatever. There wasn't much build up or hype for it. So if he's gonna do that again, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm curious about what like some of like the Shonen Jump like directors think about this shit, because like I feel like if I was like a director and I like read this chapter and I saw, I'm ending it, I'd be like, no you're not. I'd be like, bro, go take a break, go take a long ass break, and then come back when you can think of a good ending. And I don't know, dude, like I'm lost. I'm really at like a loss for words. This is all unscripted if you can't tell, because I just really wanted to make a video about this, and it's just like, what are we doing? Do I think we're gonna get a part 3? Maybe. We might get a part 3. I'm kind of leaning towards yes, but if he ended it right here, because like I feel like the work really shows what he's thinking. If he decided to end it right here, then I guess that would really be it. And yeah, of course I'd be let down, like, but there's nothing really much we can do about it if the artist just doesn't want to work on something anymore. You could like hand it off to another writer, like Jujutsu Kaisen Modelo or whatever. Maybe give us another short chapter story, but I don't really see that happening. I will say though, however, the art is really good. If you've been reading part 2, you could definitely see the decline of art quality, and looking at this final chapter, it went back to like, I'd say the start of part 2, and like it's really good, high quality Tatsuki Fujimoto work. I wouldn't say it's his best work, obviously. I feel like some of his best work was somewhere like, I'd say really in part 1, midway, halfway through, and towards the end of part 1, and then like the fight with Pochita, not Denji, but Pochita and Yoru, like the one where she snipes him from New York or whatever. Really good stuff. So I mean, the art here is like amazing. I'm just looking at it right now. Like that bi-weekly devil really helped him out, gave him a break he needed to get back on his game. But aside from that, and obviously seeing Denji, Yoru, Power, Nayuta all happy and stuff, I just feel like this really was a non-ending in a way. there's not many positives I can really hand out here, because I keep saying it, but like this is like a nothing burger. It's like a nothing, what are we doing ending. I feel the same way with Jujutsu Kaisen, with the way that ended, where it's just kind of like a nothing ending, and I'm just super confused. Of course, I still love Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen, even though the internet annoys the fucking shit out of me with Jujutsu Kaisen. I still love those series, hold them near and dear, but I definitely think this ending is gonna tarnish the legacy a bit, a lot, and yeah, I don't know. If he decides to do a part 3, I think that can help him bounce back from this. But yeah, no, there's not many positive things I can really say. And obviously, I don't agree with the posts that are like, kill Tatsuki Fujimoto, or oh, you're a dead man, I hate you, Tatsuki Fujimoto. I don't agree with those posts at all, because I remember when Jujutsu Kaisen was ending with Gege, he was saying he was sad because he was seeing some of the things people were saying about him. And the reason why I keep talking about Jujutsu Kaisen is, if you don't know, him, Gege Akutami, and Tatsuki Fujimoto are friends IRL. So that's why I keep comparing them. And structure-wise, Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man are very similar. But I think Jujutsu Kaisen is not as strong writing-wise as Chainsaw Man is. And that's why I'm just so caught off guard by this lackluster ending. Because if you've read part 1, if you've read part 2, if you watch those character analysis videos and stuff, like the references, the metaphors, the movie references, just all this other shit, you can just feel the like sophistication of Chainsaw Man, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying I'm better than you because I like Chainsaw Man. I'm not saying anybody's better than somebody because they like Chainsaw Man more than Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen also has really good stuff, but I'm just saying, like, I think Chainsaw Man is leaps and bounds better than some other manga in its sphere. And with an ending like this, what are we doing? I keep saying that. What are we doing? So yeah, no, I'm lost. This is really unscripted. Probably gonna cut out some of these silent parts, but yeah, no, I guess this is it. For now. Obviously, no, I don't have much hope for a part 3. I really don't. But yeah, no, we'll just have to think about it, marinate on it. I'm curious on what he's gonna do next. I'm worried that this might end up like, if anybody is familiar with Oshi no Ko, the way that manga ended, and how it just kind of rushed its ending and then just kind of did some character assassination. I don't think Chainsaw Man did character assassination, but just like, oh yeah, I'm bored with this, I'm gonna go do this other thing or whatever. That builds resentment in readers, and it makes you seem untrustworthy, because now if you go start this new thing but you rushed your old thing, people are just gonna assume that you're just gonna rush your new thing again. I still think Tatsuki Fujimoto is a genius, but every genius, every like superstar can fucking miss and fail. LeBron doesn't make every shot. You know, some might argue against it, but some might say Hideo Kojima has made like a bad game before. Which one that is, that's up to the people that have played all the games. I haven't really played Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta and like 5. But what I'm saying is, like, obviously our favorites can make a mistake or stumble every once in a while, and I hope that he can bounce back from this, take the break he needs, and then come back feeling revigorated and filled with passion again like he used to. And I saw a great comment one time back when 231 dropped that said it was talking about when Pochita was talking to Denji. He was saying that was an allegory for himself, for Tatsuki Fujimoto, back when he was making part 1. To put it in simpler terms, he was hungry for like he was hungry for the bag, so that's why it was so good, so high quality, and that he was like a dreamer back then. But then, like, he made part 2, and the anime blew up, the movie did great, the manga's doing great, part 2's doing great, and like he's made it to the top. He doesn't have to like dream anymore. And I imagine that, thanks for that comment, but I imagine that Fujimoto has gotten like bored at the top or whatever, or maybe he just doesn't have that spark of motivation like he used to back when he first started, because Chainsaw Man was his first like big hit. Second, like Fire Punch was big, but then Chainsaw Man was fucking huge. So that's what I mean by that. When it comes to manga ending, this is far from my first rodeo. I remember Tokyo Revengers just fucking it all up. Jujutsu Kaisen ending, and now Chainsaw Man, Sakamoto Days, Kindergarten Wars, those are gonna end soon as well, probably within this year. Just other series, they come and go, and like I've seen good endings, I've seen bad endings. I've read Bleach long before the before the anime, 1,000 Year Blood War anime started. And I mean, I liked it. So like a rushed ending can do well, in my opinion. And is the Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War arc manga ending perfect? Fuck no. But I just still remember liking it. So you can do an ending on a deadline. Now in a perfect world, obviously these mangakas would have all the time and resources and be able to do and say whatever they want. But we don't live in that world, unfortunately. So I don't know what could have happened that led Fujimoto to this rushed, sloppy ending. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know what led him to this point, but like I hope that he can, bounce back from this, take a break. I already said that, but like, just take a break and then come back when he's ready. Because my worst fear is for him to come back with something new pretty soon, because then what's going to happen, like what I just said earlier, is it builds that untrust in fans and readers, and now people are just going to assume that you're just going to rush your ending like you did with this one. Maybe he goes back to doing one-shots, maybe he does something completely unrelated to Chainsaw Man, we don't know. I'm hopeful for the future of his works, and I will be reading, but for now, I'm let down. I feel like a parent, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a coach that just saw his kid under the bleachers fucking smoking a cigarette, bro. Like, what's my star player doing, bro? What are you doing? That's really just how I would sum up this chapter, bro. What are you doing? So, yeah, no, I'm talking in circles if you can't tell, but give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. Yeah, let's get a fucking conversation going up in the comment section, because I'm curious on what other readers have to think about this. But that's all I have to say about Chainsaw Man Part 2. Thank you so much if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, and please make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what your thoughts on the end of Part 2. I'm thinking about making a video about like devils in fiction, like not only Chainsaw Man, but like Frieren, Dungeon Meshi, like how they're depicted and which series like do it the best. So please give me your ideas on what you think would be good for that. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh, I'm in it for real this time. When I upload is when I upload. That's what I'm going to do. Like when I upload is when I upload. And hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And one day I'll be consistent about it. I'm a perfectionist, so I'm always like stuck in my head when it comes to making videos. This one was unscripted, and I just really wanted to hop on an opportunity to talk about Chainsaw Man, because if you remember my last video, I said my next video was going to be about Chainsaw Man, although that one was going to be about the Reze movie, not this, but it all worked out in the end, didn't it? But that's all I got. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and have a good day, night, evening, whatever. I'm out of here.